have been nice enough to clean everything out of the garages and
It's
okay,
The sheetrock pile out there at the dump, we're gonna have to do something with that. We're gonna have to find a spot to bury it. We can't have it just sitting on top of the ground for some reason.
okay.
So that's something we'll have to address sometime in the future. So,
Are they gonna make us stop taking drywall then, or what?
no, as long as
Just gotta
we-
bury it?
Yeah, as long as we have something there where we can bury it and.
Has that ground been buried and covered and buried and covered? I mean, can you get a loader down there and dig a big enough hole to do
Well, we have to find out where, you know, right now, we're gonna have to probably start going to the east.
I think where that pile's at, if you be there with the dozer and push it a little to the west, we could start on the west side behind the pile.
Dennis Meyer.
I think there's enough room there.
Well, I don't know if there was something buried back there before.
Not to my knowledge.
Dennis Meyer's got that charcoal, he's pretty reasonable on that too. He could dig a hell of a deep hole and not have, just dig it deep
Mhm.
and throw it in there and bury it.
Right.
Can we bury mattresses with it?
Unfortunately.
Solves both problems.
I think the recliners and the couches are our worst one. They're sitting in the front of the yards waiting for spring cleanup.
And then our backflow ordinance, we're gonna have to get moving on that. I think I handed out, the ordinance with the state, for the state ordinance on that. I know Laura and I were talking. I'm writing something up for ourselves, a lot of that.
Okay,
We were thinking anything like new buildings or remodels. Like we were talking remodels, anything between 10 and 15,000 over. We're thinking we'll have them put in a check valve or backflow preventer that is a testable one.
And do you provide these for us to buy, or?
I mean, we can, I mean, we can, I can order some. Or it's a.
Give us an idea where to get them?
Any Ferguson Water will have them, or, I'm sure.
Is that on the companies to get their own stuff to have it installed?
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder if we wouldn't be better off. That way we have control of what they come with.
Right.
Or we provide the,
We can.
or we sell
We
the
sell, yeah.
preventer.
At a reasonable cost, obviously.
And I have a book over there, it's a couple years old, so I'm sure the price has gone up. The non-testable ones for like a 3/4 inch line, you're talking about $70. And then,
You only need one, right?
yep, and that's for a 3/4 inch copper line. And then for 1 inch, you're talking about $80.
It might be worth getting a bunch.
But them are the non-testable ones. For the testable ones are about $350.
They're $350.
Mm-hmm. I priced out one for Allied down here for where they fill their sprayer, and they're talking over $3,500 for that one.
Okay.
do they have to be testable, or is coming down the pipe that they will be, or what?
For commercial buildings, anything that has a cross connection, they have to be testable. Out at Mill and Honey, them lines will have to be a testable one. Allies will have to be, just because they got sprayers.
Is that a 2-inch line going in the mill? Or is that a 3/4 line?
That's 2 inch.
It's a 2-inch line going to that meter.
in there.
One in the palace as well. And they're about, how much, right?
Well, the 3-inch ones are over 3,000.
Okay.
Well, it's not us making the ordinance or the rules, so I don't know.
And it's on
That's what
it's on the
my
property
opinion.
owner.
In my opinion, if they're building or doing a remodel and spending 30, 40, 50,000, really what the hell's another 300?
Nice and
And
well.
if the plumber's there, he can set up his system to accommodate it. That's the problem with having a lot of these old houses, there's no place to mount the damn thing. Cause the lines come in behind and,
Yeah.
you know, where a new house, I actually think we should, I thought about it more, I think we should just require the testable one and then we'll cover it, period.
Well, yeah, it doesn't pay to put a $70 one and then 10 years from now it
Yeah,
has to be tested, you know. I don't.
The only thing would be the non-testable ones, you know, we could have in the ordinance saying that every 5 years, 3 years that they have to replace them.
Oh, yeah, so let's not even screw with that.
Let's just require a test.
You're gonna have $350 in that anyway. Okay. I remember him telling us that number. So we can just amend our ordinance and add it to our permit deal, right?
then I think what we should do is kind of get a general idea of what we want, take it over and let Isaac print it up.
Okay.
They do it more in the legal form. Then all that do is adopt it.
Okay. Sounds
It
good.
seems like when we try to write our own, we're just not trained well enough. And there's so many loopholes and,
No, I agree with you. Let's do that and get it going. Okay, anything else, Bill?
The park board, we're gonna be meeting, with the contractor at pickleball court on Wednesday at 3:30. So I think Lauren and I and the park board members will be there. I think Infinity will be there. I don't think Ron Dewald will be there, but it's just getting water and sewer over to the warming house.
Okay. Are you in sewer there too?
There's a bathroom going in there.
Sweet.
I think that's for all I got.
All right, auditor?
I don't have anything other
Sherry.
than permits.
okay, on these water meters now, Bill mentioned something, like we don't have a program that, are they having problems?
Okay, what happened is, the guy who sells them to us, we have UV Pro, and he says, yes, it's compatible with UV Pro. So now I talked to the lady at where we get our UV Pro enhance at, our program, and we have to upgrade. We are on this one cheap one here. So now we need to go up to a bigger business model. So she is supposed to be giving me a quote on how much it's gonna cost for us to go from here to here. It'll still be compatible with UV Pro, but she said if we were a new customer just starting out and never had their system, it'd be thousands of dollars to get their program. But since we've already been here and we're a small town, she's gonna try to write it up. So before we put them in, we wanna make sure it's not thousands of dollars and that I need to call, once I find out the pricing, if that grant will allow us to use our money to help pay for that. So we're kind of just waiting before we step into putting them in and then all of a sudden we're screwed with putting in a lot of money. Because right now we can take them back if it's gonna be too much money. But she said it's gonna be a few $1,000s to switch to the bigger program.
Really?
Mhm. Well, she says you're looking at thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars if we didn't. But she said these are all geared for the
They
bigger
told us
city.
ours would work?
Well, she said it's not his fault. UV Pro does work, but UV Pro has two different programs. UV Pro like this for the old meters and the old, you know.
What do we got?
Now all this
Amateur?
new stuff, huh?
We got UV amateur or what?
Now with
Get
all
it,
this
right?
new stuff, you know, you gotta have internet, you gotta have this, so it's a whole new program.
Okay,
Did she say it was that a one-time
I can't be a
payment,
programmer,
or is that a monthly thing? or-
And that's another thing we need to know, what is it gonna be on, since we got internet and all that, are we gonna have a monthly payment? Because UV Pro, we pay them once a year to
Right.
use this system.
And that's not.
So we
the end.
still get that charge, but
So
what if
much
we get
fraud involved.
another charge?
Ours
So
is
I'm
so
pinning her down on
And
the
every
contract
time
there
they do that.
to find out exactly what those costs are before he goes and puts them in and, because if not, we can just go put our little dot ones back
It's
up.
not a cheap deal.
You know, we won't have the drive-by.
That's
And I know talking to streeters, they do say they have a lot of problems with theirs.
Doing that, he was saying that, just, yeah, he's explained why, and that's basically what you're saying.
So I wanna make sure that the grant.
They don't have all the rights to it or something, the copyright.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Well, UV Pro has a lot of it, because they work with Ferguson all the time, but we're just jumping up from this.
That was a question you should have asked if it was that common, like, what's the UV program you have?
Yeah.
Well, we have the poor people one.
See, and that's the thing, these guys that are selling them to the cities, when we say UV Pro, they just say, yep, it's compatible. Well, I talked to the gentleman, the salesman, and I gave him the number to talk to this lady directly, because, you know, I don't know all the right lingo to say. So he called me back and said, everything's a go, all you gotta do is put a new updated system in. Something told me, I think I better call her back. And she gave me all this other stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's a way big difference, and it's all ready to go. But she said it's not their fault, they don't realize there's two different systems.
Well, they should tell them now.
What permits, or you said?
They're down in the new business, you can do that when you go down there, if you want.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so. Oh, that's in the new business too, our special meeting on April 18th at 6 PM for the tax equalization. She could not make it to this meeting. So we're gonna have a special on that Monday night, and just as long as we have a quorum here, we're good.
Okay. Taylor, you got anything for us? Jeff?
No, sir.
Larry? Warren, you got any? Okay. All right, old business, more engineering to discuss water grant, nowhere for city, got that, water bill for southeast water users. Speed limit sign, I haven't heard anything from, I talked to Andrew a little bit too, I don't think it's really gonna be a go limit sign, so, for funding and all that.
I talked to Kyle a little bit about it.
I have a question while you're talking about signs, because we have a new guy that just bought Dean Fay's house, and he's a truck driver. What's going on with our truck route signs? Because he was asking me where, and I told him he could park down here. He
We
couldn't
ordered,
park
I thought we were
south.
ordering them, didn't we say that was a go ahead?
I dropped the ball.
Oh.
Well, now you gotta stand up and do street traffic.
Get your whistle.
We got orange vests.
Whistle and your white glove.
And then he had asked me if, on permits, he needs to do the inside of the chimney flute, not the outside. Does he have to have a permit for that?
I don't know.
I mean, is that changing, it's supposed to be if anything changes
Well,
the
what's
structure?
it gonna cost them?
Yeah, I would say it has to do with the price.
Yeah.
Okay, I gave him a permit thing, I said I'd find out.
Yeah, what's,
Money.
the basic per, under 3,000 is what, $10?
Yeah, and then you jump up to a $50 one and a $100 one. He's probably gonna be doing some other work anyway, so it's probably gonna be the bigger one anyway.
Okay. Oh, by the way, we need one too. For shingling.
Lauren for shingling, okay, I'll put that in. I would've came around and got you when I saw somebody there. I didn't know.
God, you could sneak by, didn't you, Lauren?
Wife told me yesterday.
I didn't know.
Bill and I we follow JDK construction around. I just for a Sunday, I had to go get two of them at once because I saw the shingles outside.
New business, we talked about spring cleanup. I have on there Rock and Terry Griffith Yard, he had asked me, and Lauren, Bill know about it, we gotta jet it first, that's right, that's what I told him, and then we'll get it filled in.
Try.
Or he said at least just bring the rock and he'll push it in, it's fine. But I told him I talked to him that night, I think I talked to one of you guys right away too. So, okay, that's all that was, not a big deal. Permits for Bozer House, windows, roof, siding, inside work.
That's the house right here down in the corner. It's doing the work there.
Okay. Permit for Patty Elhard, roof on ceramic shop. One for Lauren,
For shingling
for shingling.
or reshingling.
Motion to approve those permits.
Prove everyone but Lauren's.
Second. All those in favor?
I'm gonna get away with that.
Alright. Motion carries. The old pool table behind the old church, city owns, be hauled away, please. So we don't have that mess. That, remember last year I asked you guys if you'd move that pool table behind that house? Haul that
I
away,
didn't move that.
It's besides the church.
inside the church, I think it was.
That would be, sorry.
No. That's,
Do
yeah.
they still have elite night over there?
Bury that with the drywall. Alright, vote on resolutions for ordinance on water, sewer, and garbage. Do we,
This is, all right,
I thought we did that, right?
what they said, we voted on it already, but she said you have to. So Lauren and I looked at, and you all have the printed thing for the garbage and all that. If our ordinance reads figures, then we have to amend the ordinance. Ours doesn't. So we need to do a resolution, and we have to have it in the paper for 10 days or 12 days, whatever that is, before we do our second resolution.
okay,
We've already had it in the paper since last month when I put the meeting in, because it all had all the new figures and everything.
That's 602, 22, rates and charges.
okay. This is actually the ordinance that I gotta read though, right? Okay. 60222 rates and charges. Water and sewer rates shall be fixed from time to time by resolution of the governing body, and the city reserves the right to change the rates from time to time as it deems best. The resolution fixing water and sewer rates and charges shall be kept on file in the office of the city auditor and shall be open for public inspection. Any change in the rates or charges shall be published at least one time within 10 days from adoption in the official newspaper of the city. And that's one we went up, I don't even remember what we went
The
up.
sewer, we went up $2.50, the water, we went up 50 cents per hundred,
Per thousand.
per thousand, and then the garbage is almost written the same way, and we went up $4. Now, I do wanna ask you when we get to the garbage, we do, you know, with our seasonals, half a year they don't pay, and half a year they do. And we're upping it to $4, do we wanna change anything there, or, because that's like 62 residents, we could be, we're out half a year.
That's always a tough one. Yeah.
I know.
What is your guys' thoughts on that?
Time and a half for seasonals.
What was that?
So instead of raising them 2 times, so instead of doing 8 weeks, you do 6 for seasonal.
I think we're just thinking like, are we gonna charge them more out of the year, is that what we're talking?
Yeah, we're gonna keep them at not
Every month
paying,
instead of
they don't
6
pay
months.
6 months out of the year for garbage.
You know, if you really think of it, back about the time that we did that seasonal thing, it was primarily hunters. They were here in the fall and then they were gone. But now, I see a lot of these houses are occupied in the wintertime for fishing. It's really changed where these guys are here more often than just that 1 or 2 weeks in a year. I personally think we should just go year round and be done with it.
That's a good idea. Do you know exactly which houses are seasonal and which ones aren't?
Yeah.
So if somebody's got their garbage out, are you saying, no, you're seasonal?
Oh, no, they still can put their garbage out. They just get to pay, they still put their garbage out, we still
Let's
collect
just
it.
go
Bullshit.
open it up. Let's just get it done the right way. But I'm-
You pay year round or you don't
I
get?
agree with you. Let's just have a flat fee, everybody gets the same thing.
You know, they have friends coming and fishing for a week and then they're gone again.
We need to simplify everything. And I think just, like you said, that's a great idea.
So it should go year round?
Year round, there's no seasonal anymore, it's just.
And another thing is or maybe, I don't know, do we wanna vote on that? Have a motion on that?
Well, if you're still talking, go ahead. And if you wanna make another point for that.
That's kind of a side point.
Okay.
I'd make the motion that we just go year round, water, sewer, garbage and all these, whether they're seasonal or not.
You own a house here, you pay the.
Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Issue was brought up, right now, we're not charging the fire department for water, sewer, and garbage. Or the fire district. But you know, there again, that hall used to sit empty, but now with the food pantry in there, every week, or I shouldn't say every week, but every other week, there's a lot of garbage. A lot of boxes. It was brought to my attention that really, if we're charging, it's $79 or whatever that minimum is, or let's say $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year. The district, if when they divide it over their district, it's pennies on the dollar. So we should really, I think, not give the fire district a free ride. And that has not been run by the district board, but we're the governing body. If we say you're gonna pay, you pay.
Okay.
Well, I saw what that auctioneer did at your fundraiser, and I think you guys can more than afford to pay for $1,200 a year for the garbage.
Just do one more painting, Lord, that's all you need, one more painting.
Sell a couple more things on that auction.
You keep doing the good job you're doing. You drive half of it.
Does anyone else have a problem with that, or?
Do they have a trash barrel, or do you just go in and get their trash? Are they getting regular trash, or are they getting charged for,
Like a dumpster, you're
like a
saying?
dumpster, that's what I'm trying to think of. You have your regular trash will be at 14. Now your one that was 25 will go to 29, your dumpster. Then we have a $29 dumpster, which is when you have bigger businesses. That one's gonna go up to 30, whatever it is.
You don't have a dumpster now, do you?
No, but sometimes we fill that dumpster twice, 3 times with boxes. There's a lot of boxes,
Yeah.
a lot of cardboard. And cardboard don't crush that well. Huh?
Do they need a dumpster?
Don't they recycle
No.
that cardboard?
You put it up behind the bar, it's just gonna get filled with.
Those
water.
boxes will probably be stuck in there, so it'd be more of a.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be very.
But do we wanna charge them for dumpster because they have so much, or just leave it at the 14? Because I'm getting ready to call in and get all that done. So I need to know what their charge is.
Just leave it at 14 and we can,
Well, you're at 14, what's the dumpster fee then?
You have a small dumpster or the larger. Well, you have 2 different prices, a 25 and a 29. Your bigger businesses have 29 because they have 2 dumpsters.
Well, if you have a dumpster, it makes sense, 14, I don't know what else is.
yeah, that's what I think. You don't have a dumpster, so I
Yeah.
think it's just 14. It's fine.
Well,
Good? Okay. I don't
Okay, so
think we
they're
need a
gonna get the
motion for
regular.
that. No, we did it, motion for that then.
I move for
Charge the
this.
fire department, okay, all those in favor?
Alright,
Okay.
Who was the second? Jamie?
Alright, so I'll read this 9.0307 for garbage then, for the city ordinance, so we got that one done. Oh, that's a long one. For the collection of garbage and rubbish by the city or franchise contractor and disposal thereof, there is hereby fixed and established the following schedule of monthly fees and charges. For each water meter or family unit charge as established by the water department of the city and residents, the sum of, what are we at, what did we go up to?
We went up to $14.
To $14 shall be charged, sorry. For each apartment, house, or residence building containing 2 or more apartments, a fee for each apartment building. For each commercial establishment regardless of the nature thereof from which garbage or rubbish is collected, a minimum charge of per month plus such additional amount as may be fixed and determined by the board of the governing body after a study of the kind and quality. We didn't write this one.
I've never heard of rubbish, so like.
Rubbish.
By the board of the governing body after a study of the kind and quality of garbage and rubbish or other factors incident to the collection thereof are determined. A schedule of such charges shall be filed in the office of the city auditor and be available for public inspection. An extra charge may be made for removal of ashes, garbage, refuse, rubbish, not in containers, the basis of nature, amount, and cleanup time required for removal. For burial pits for dead animals are required to be dug, a fee of no dollars per pound. I don't know.
I'm gonna bring some cows to town.
The fees shall be charged for private use of the dump grounds on a basis of nature and bulk. All fees are to be billed to the owner of the property assessed. This deposit deposit is made in advance by tenant. This deposit may be returned to the tenant at his request. Year after regular payment of fees billed. I have no idea what that meant, but hopefully.
Put an $80 deposit down on your water bill. If you go through a whole year without being late or anything else, you can request your deposit back.
Okay.
That's what they're basically telling you.
So you have the amounts, all I have is a question. We gotta get that.
For the amounts, you don't want to put the amounts in there because then we can't do resolution.
Okay,
If there's no amounts written, then we can do resolution, but if you put amounts into the ordinance, then you have to amend your ordinance. That was how she said it
so I'll
was.
just look dumb reading question marks then, I guess, I don't know.
I don't know how you read a question.
Question?
Well, the question, why they did that was because the question mark is going to change that anytime you guys say it can be changed.
Okay. And that's why I don't write those, sorry.
All right,
So that's all we need to do is, those are red, then we
all
gotta put
right, you
them.
did the resolution for the water and sewer, now you wanna do it for the garbage?
I thought that was the garbage.
That wasn't garbage.
Oh, it was all three together?
Yeah, that was garbage.
Okay.
Garbage
All right,
fees,
so
rates
that
and
should do.
charges.
So now I can go ahead and up the price and it will be on next month's bill since we put it out last week already.
Okay. So we're good there? This next, new business, option for garbage dumpster pickup out of county shop.
The county shop wants to know, is there an option that they could rent a garbage
Dumpster?
dumpster? Why, I can't remember that. And if they can, that way he can take it to the board and see if they will, because they're gonna be getting water soon for their bathroom.
Yeah.
They won't have sewer with us, but they'll have water, and they were just wondering if they could do garbage too.
You know, I think being like the higher acres up there, we're providing water and garbage, and that's out of city limits. Being they're gonna get a water bill, they'll be on the city water. We should allow them to have a dumpster, and charge them dumpster fee.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Motion? Give no more to do. I move that they can have their dumpster.
Second?
Second,
All those in favor?
I,
Okay, and we talked about special meeting on April 18th at 6 PM for tax equalization. If someone can't make that, please let me know so we can at least have enough for 3 of us here. Otherwise, it doesn't pay to have it for all of us, you know what I'm saying? So just let me know when it gets a little bit closer on that one.
We have to have it sometime this month.
I might be going to Newtown for tournament.
Okay, just let me know, please. What is the 18th on anyway?
On Monday.
Easter Monday, so, just so you know.
All right, and then Lauren, you had chickens in town on the,
yeah, what is our policy now, you know, with?
We didn't change anything. As of right now, no chickens.
No chickens?
We did not change our ordinance. I gave you all that things and nobody came up with an ordinance to be changed.
Okay,
So as it stands, there is none.
What's the penalty for people who have chickens?
Chop it out.
because
No.
he still has chickens down here, doesn't he?
Misty's got them living in her house.
Who?
Misty Beard, she's got chickens living in her house. Inside. Shit in the basement.
We. He's laughing. She was already told she couldn't have chickens in town.
No, she's
For
got-
number one, what thing we're writing up, what we all were talking about writing up, you're gonna end up having to have 2 lots or more to have chickens.
She don't have that either, but they're in her house.
I thought you showed us something that we were gonna go by, we just never read it or what?
You never made, I gave it, I gave you like 4
We
different
talked
ones from
about it.
different towns, you
You
talked about it.
talked, you had to have a big enough lot, and they had to be out of sight.
But it isn't just that, you have to read those things because it shows you about all your chicken poop and all that, there's a lot of things that you wanna.
Oh, I thought we adopted one already.
No, we
Oh,
didn't.
shit. Because we were talking about putting it on our new permit thing too, so we could revoke it if we,
Well, that's what you want, that's what most towns do, they do it on a permit basis, and it's not to make money. It is to keep control, because if they don't clean up their poop and they become this stinky mess, then we can shut them down real easy with a permit.
Don't put it in your garbage either.
See, there's a lot of, there's a lot
Yeah,
of.
she did, right?
I know she did.
Did you talk to her?
Yeah.
That's just chicken shit.
Okay, I'll let that individual know, and then
That was for me.
about shipping containers, last year when John Chikini, he moved one in, we're gonna permit them, right?
Yeah, here, we had that at the last meeting, 2 meetings ago, because Nystrom got one too.
John Chikini.
oh, he wanted one too?
No, he's got one,
Oh.
but when Ron got his, he talked to you guys, and you guys said yes for him.
Yep, okay. That was just a question I had.
Okay.
'Cause that's
I didn't-
Yeah, because before he moved his in, he made sure that you guys were on board with it.
The same people you asked me to go talk to, that was 2 questions she had.
Oh, okay, yep, we can have them. As long as they're gonna split the distance, I think it was not right along the property line, a little bit over or
Right.
something.
The setbacks, I talked to her, she was very polite about it, she asked about chickens, and I couldn't remember how we decided, so I'll talk to her again,
As of right now, it reads none,
okay.
and we definitely were gonna change that. But there's a
What did you
lot
call
of
that,
things.
the backflow ordinance, what was that? Is that what we said?
Warren, you got that ordinance?
We gotta get this done so we can,
That backflow ordinance, you got that before?
So if you know for sure that Missy does, we can easily have her a citation, Paul Hammond, our judge will write it
That's
up.
the one that was quoted.
He told us we should use him more. We don't need to have the police officer go over
so
there
we gotta get this
He
done.
can write it up and have her appear
This chicken
here.
one.
and ask why.
It was about 8 days ago, they were still in there, so.
I don't know, I think.
She was told by me and Drew both. I don't know.
Hey, does she still have chickens in his backyard?
I haven't heard it.
Who?
Well, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact,
he's still down back there.
because Peggy said they were giving eggs away,
Yeah, they
so
were,
they must have them.
on Thursday, we seen 3 of them running around outside the fence, so.
Oh, so there, I haven't seen it,
Okay.
I'm never home.
Did you guys have a chance to look at bills? Any questions or?
What did you get at Allied Energy?
Allied Energy, those were actually, what happened is, last month, we had a storm and I wrote out all the bills earlier than I normally do, not realizing this is gonna catch me with 2 months at one time, the checks coming in. So that is 2 months. Allied Energy is all our heat for the shop, for here.
Okay.
I was just wondering why there was 2.
Well, because I forgot to write two. I think I wanted to separate them just to see what the difference in price was, and that it didn't look so like we did $6,000 for it.
Butler, did you have some stuff done in your payloader?
Butler?
No, but
Well,
That's a trash truck, wasn't it?
$1,000, that was probably them skids for that blade.
960, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, guys? Nope. Take a motion to approve the bills then?
So moved.
Second,
Second,
all those in favor?
aye.
Date and time of next meeting, Monday, May 2nd, 2022 at 7. Does anyone have a problem with that? I'm good.
We're staying at 7 and not switching yet?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. Anything else before we adjourn?
Not sure.
Everyone good? All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Lauren, second by Taylor. All those in favor?
Alright.
And it is 7:41.